Putting into the game, guys. In terms of Shen, he is very team reliant. He's still viable. He still does some really amazing plays, but you're not going to solo carry the game. So, yes, short answer, Shen is viable, but he is significantly outclassed.
His ult is... There are a couple champions who have ults that are so good that they're undertuned as a result. Shen, Ashe, sometimes. And so you'll see people who have this amazing ult, not necessarily an amazing kit other than that, and Shen can sometimes be that champion. So, picks and bans?
Yes. Final question here. Taser is asking when the giveaway is. We already did our giveaway for our RP card, which we do every single Sunday. So feel free to be a return giveaway visitor if that's what you're looking for. We are doing a Facebook giveaway though. All you have to do is like our Facebook page. We are drawing that prize at the end of our stream tonight. So I can't give you an exact time. It's whenever we end our stream. After this is our last workshop game, and then we are going to be doing a viewer game. So we'll be able to play with you guys. I'll have you go over picks and bans now, Requiem.
Sure. Blue team. I can actually see bans. I guess I have a bug. But picks. Blue team has Tristana as ADC, Rengar in the jungle, Lulu as support, Shaco mid, and Tryndamere top. That's an interesting composition. Tryndamere is actually played by Wicked Demiurge, who is a friend of mine. I linked these posts in the Penny Arcade forums, the workshop in the Penny Arcade forums. So if you are here from Penny Arcade and you are here because of my links, hey, thanks for showing up. Cheers. Purple team, we have Soraka and... What are these teams? We have Caitlyn as ADC, Blitzcrank as support, Riven mid, and Soraka top, and Rammus in the jungle.
It's the last workshop of the day. I guess people are just getting freaky with it.
Sure, I love it. I love these crazy comps. You crazy people, I love you all.
Okay, JWF. I appreciate him being in the support. I don't want him to feel like I'm trolling him or being unappreciative, but he plays weird shit. Every workshop game he's been, he'd be like, I'm playing only Galio. He was the Galio player, I'm pretty sure. And now it's...
Galio.
Sorry?
He was the Galio.
Yeah, he was the Galio player. And I definitely remember him saying the other day in the stream, oh, AP Shaco's the new thing, it's so OP. And I was like, but they nerfed his fear, his boxes aren't that good anymore. He's like, no, AP Shaco doesn't need boxes, you DFG and throw your shiv. And while that's true, that does a lot of burst. I don't know. I don't want him to feel like I'm picking on him.
I have to share a nightmare for you. Okay, I was playing solo queue. I think this was in like 2010, and there was an AP Shake on the enemy team, and he kept sending his clones into the middle of our team, and they killed the clone and exploded for AP damage and would one-shot us, and they wouldn't killing the clone.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that AP Shaco can't be made to work. I'm not saying that you shouldn't play it. I'm sure he's a fine Shaco player. You feel free to play what you want, but it's just such a weird pick.
Why wouldn't they stop killing the clone? But
I've told you before, I've had legitimate nightmares about trying to land a Flash Victor laser.
Like, just posted the anxiety guide in chat, so you guys can check it out. It's a really comprehensive guide to dealing with in-game negative feelings, anxiety, talk. It's quite a read, but I encourage you to check it out.
Taser Lucian, we do an RP giveaway every single Sunday at 3 p.m. It's always 3 p.m. It's always on Sunday. We've done an RP giveaway every single Sunday for the past like 2 or 3 months without fail. So I apologize if you feel like we're baiting you in here, but it's a scheduled giveaway. We've done it without fail. We've not trolled anyone. This is a bonus giveaway on our Facebook page. We can draw it whenever we damn well please. So thank you for your view.
That's not true. You troll me.
What?
Totally troll me all the time. You're like, hey, why don't you come over here for an RP card? And then you just laugh at me. And
that's because I like torturing you.
No. Why didn't they stop killing the clone? Just stop killing the clone.
Is Cho'Gath a viable top lane in the current meta? You have to place... Oh, okay, Requiem. All I can hear is myself.
Oh, hold on.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so Cho'Gath top is fine. It scales really, really well, but you have a lot of issues with surviving laning phase. Laning phase is a little bit painful for him.
Mumble froze. I'm back.
Okay. This is wonderful because I don't hear myself now.
But I thought you loved your voice.
I do, but not reverberated back at me through other things. Thank you for the follow, Bigger Bennis.
Hey,
Sorry,
I think
biggest.
we got a lot of followers today.
Biggest.
Maybe you should read off the list.
No, I'm not doing that anymore. That's why I added the notification system.
No. Oh. I loved it. It was like your teacher, a substitute teacher, being like trying to read through the list of all the foreign kid names. I fucking love that shit. You don't even know, man.
So basically, you like torturing people.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, nice. It's like tied up to a thing now. If you guys want to put the anxiety guide on your Tumblr, it might get some like attention for your Tumblr, because like there's nothing else like it in the LoL community right now. I think I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely do need to do that at some point. Oh my god. Stop with the weird champion picks. It's so hard to line anything up now. Okay, right. So it's... Okay. I'm going to assume these are the right roles, and I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, so starting items. We have Blitzcrank starting out with consumables. I'm not sure how you feel about that. I know you were a huge proponent of that before D-Shield was like the shining star of support items.
Yeah, I don't like it.
We have the D-Blade on Riven, the Hunter's Machete 5-pot start on Rammus. Soraka is starting with 2 Fairy Charms and pots. Oh my gosh, we're seeing some action already.
I like how his name is Hunter Wolf and he's playing Rengar. That's adorable.
Well, his name's Hooter Wolf, or Hunter Wolf.
I will always call him Hunter. And yes, I apologize about the loud horn noise. Usually it's like a fifth of this volume, but because I'm using VoIP and we're helping shoutcast, it's a little too loud, so we will be fixing that. Hook doesn't quite connect.
Clear speed works on a champion like Shyvana when you can just kill anyone who walks up to you, or at least escape. On a champion like Cassiopeia, if you get invaded, I hope you like dying. So Cassiopeia, that sort of jungle strategy is not super viable right now.
So in terms of overall champion matchups, I'm going to give it to Purple Team. Only because Tryndamere is all physical damage, every single bit of his damage is physical, and Soraka gets huge amounts of armor. Soraka also has crazy sustain and crazy wave clear, so it's not like he's going to be shoving her into tower and turret diving at level 6. I'm not saying he won't turret dive, but it's not going to be as one-sided as it might otherwise be versus a mage top. Mid lane, Riven is usually pretty good versus squishy champions. Oh, never mind. She's good versus squishy champions mid, but she just tanked an entire AP Shaco clone box. So she took like half her health for no reason. I'm not saying that lost her the lane, but it's going to make things a little bit harder for her. Then bot lane we have the Blitz Caitlyn where they can just play super passive if they need to, and as soon as they land a hook it's going to be crazy aggression. And then of course Rammus, they can just CC anything he wants. So I like their team comp slightly better, especially given the mid-game slump that Tristana has. But it's so hard to really give it to one side. It depends on how they play.
I think if this game goes beyond 30 or 40 minutes, Blue Team is going to have a massive advantage thanks to having Tryndamere, Tristana, even Rengar has quite a lot of late game potential. However, Shaco will become an anchor around their neck if he doesn't get fed and the game goes late. So it's a little difficult to really call it like that.
We have an early gank coming in mid, and nothing happens. Like, Rengar did almost all that damage alone. Rengar did great. If they had a mage who had reliable burst, they would have killed Riven right there.
Oh my gosh.
In the meantime, Rammus goes top, not quite able to connect.
Tristana gets pulled into the tower, jumps out, Lulu gives her a shield, but she runs into a Caitlyn trap and gets a pilt-over Peacemaker to the face for first blood.
Wait. No. Sorry, I had to do it in slow motion.
Tryndamere is trading quite well with Soraka up top, but Rammus is coming in, taunts him, will Soraka be able to get as much damage onto him? It doesn't look like it, and Tryndamere runs to the safety of his tower. That's the thing with Soraka top. You're essentially an immovable object, but you don't have that much offense, especially against a sustained bruiser like Tryndamere. I don't think either side is going to be able to do that much to the other. I think this is going to be a farm out.
What game number is this? Is this the fifth game? 4,
This
okay.
is the fourth. Yeah, the fourth game.
Oh god, it's been so long. It felt like the fifth. I've learned that I can't do more than 4 games or I just die.
Sounds about right. I'm a little worried for the fate of Straka. Morello has repeatedly and publicly said if she ever sees popular play, she's going to get nerfed into the ground. And I'm starting to see her, and I'm scared. I love Straka.
I don't. She makes me cry.
Well, she's getting a rework done on her, so hopefully she comes out of it a little less frustrating. Because I do like playing as her, but if I play against her, I want to just murder her like a puppy.
Yep. Wait, you want to murder it like a puppy? What puppies are you murdering?
No, I'm not really murdering puppies. It's more like street children, and the only thing that misses a street child is another street child. So
It's
a
true, so no one
self-solving
cares.
problem. Right, it's a self-solving problem. You just kind of like go through street children and work off that frustration. So right now there's about 200 gold difference. Not that big a deal. Teams are basically even. Caitlyn does have a kill on bot, and but farm seems to be fairly even in most lanes.
Ram is coming in onto the Shaco. Shaco, ooh, very nice deceive. Just barely doesn't get hit. It's weird that he didn't decide to go over the wall, but the fact that he didn't get hit by any portion of the power ball, it makes me happy.
Lulu is an interesting pick right now as a support. She's seen a lot of mid play because the amount of utility she brings to a team late game is just amazing. But her laning phase as a support, I'm not particularly enamored with it. She doesn't have the same killing potential, and poke lanes are really getting shoved out in favor of kill lanes right now.
I think she's going to gain a little bit of popularity due to the Spell Thief's Edge changes. Her auto attacks early game are so strong. We'll see if it ever really becomes a thing, though, because right now, if she's not banned and you want a Lulu, you just send her mid.
Right. As a support, she's sort of a jack of all trades. She can poke, she can slow, she can CC a little, she can boost you a little. She's got a little bit of everything, got a little shield. But compared to this Annie, Thresh, Leona, Holy Trinity, just sort of underwhelming.
Yeah, agreed. Someone in chat mentioned that Shaco is going very, very often, and that he should be able to Doran Shield. I agree with that. If you're going to do an AP lane Shaco, which I wouldn't suggest doing personally, but if that's what you're doing, I would want the Doran's Ring for the health versus a Riven, the mana sustain to be able to actually harass her, and just the damage. Like, he obviously wanted the early Fiendish Codex so that he could rush towards his DFG, but I still don't like it. Like, he's just having so many mana problems. He has hit level 6 though, so we'll see if the clones become an issue.
They wouldn't stop attacking the clones.
I would like to see an early dragon come out as a result.
Right. Both teams have the composition to really contest objectives early on.
Yeah, as soon as Shaco hits level 6, he can solo dragon himself. So just him and Rengar jumping down there real quick. We see an early ult coming out from the Rengar. Gets a lot of damage on, but not able to pull anything through. Lulu is a little too low to really join in that fight. I think that was the main issue.
A fun fact, did you know that Yasuo deleted Shaco from the game?
So, oh yes. You mentioned that.
Yes. Basically, PvE, Shaco is getting a rework. His ult was turned where he changed, so he turns into a projectile and splits at the end of it. Windwall stops all projectiles. Windwall deleted Shaco from the game. So,
Which is as it should be.
Of course. I owe Yasuo a great debt now. Despite the early kill on Caitlyn, both teams are staying fairly even on gold.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Riven isn't bullying the Shaco more. And again, same thing in chat. No Doran's Rings, no mana potions, and just stacked 5 health potions going back in. So I I don't know. It
The
seems
thing
odd.
is, a lot of people, when they don't know how to play against a certain champion, they tend to just play safe to be sure. They just don't want to give up a kill. You see this when I play a lot of Quinn. People don't know how to play against Quinn. They don't know how to play against Fiora. And so they
Agreed.
become very conservative, very scared, and I'm sure that's what's happening in mid lane right now.
Tristana not level 6, so she's not... Oh, there we go. He's not going to have an ult to get away. Oh, that Blitz hook made me very sad. I used to play a lot of Blitzcrank, for those who don't know. Blitzcrank was the first support I mained back in, like, Season 2. And I was actually a pretty good Blitzcrank for a while. So that made me very sad. Tristana was taunted, was not moving in any way, and he missed.
This makes your, like, hatred of Blitzcrank more apparent. You're like a spurned lover.
I
Who's,
am.
like, weeping about Blitzcrank no longer being super pro, so...
I just don't like him as a champion anymore. He's so binary. You land a hook, you win. You don't land a hook, or they dodge it, and it's just like, well, I do nothing now. Which is sort of an exaggeration, because he still does have use.
Blue team actually pulling slightly ahead in gold despite the early kill. Not a lot happening in this game. It's a very slow game. You know, not a ton of action, which is fine. Sometimes a slow game can be more instructive than a stomp or a very aggressive game.
So Rengar just ulted, almost like he was going to go try and fight, and I don't know why he would. He's low health. Shaco doesn't have reliable CC or burst to set up that fight, and I don't know, he just wasted a rather important cooldown.
So in top lane, Trindamere is getting a CS lady. He has 73 to Soraka's 57. I would be very worried about Trindamere getting ahead if I were purple team. Maybe Trindamere is not a huge threat at platinum. I'm not sure. But in silver, a fed Trindamere is scary as heck. You do not want him anywhere near you.
So that taunt in the tower...
Look like they just addressed that, so...
That was a significant play by Trindamere. He has his flash up. He has his ult up. He never should have got caught by that taunt, and the taunt's what killed him because it put him inside the tower taking shots.
It is possible that he got taunted and he's like, I'm going to take my death like a man and come back to lane with a full arsenal. And I think that would have been a fine choice. Like, you mess up and you choose not to compound the mistake.
Yeah, he is going to use his teleport. I don't know if I agree with that. His tower wasn't in any real danger. Maybe he'll be able to dive here, but it seems unlikely. Yeah.
Soraka is just such an unmovable object, and she can build so tanky right now since they gutted the AP ratio on her heal, and it's all based now. I feel like Soraka is going to get the Eye of Morello on her soon, and I'm very sad about this.
Alright, so purple team setting up a dragon.
Kills on bot, going for dragon.
Rengar does not have ult to try and stealth in to steal it. There is a pink ward there, though. That's really good thinking by them, knowing that, okay, he could just stealth in and steal this. Okay. They just hooked him in so he could steal it. That seems odd.
Hey, I love delivery.
So Shaco gets his first kill of the game. In the meantime, though, they do land a kill with the Caitlyn ult. Shaco, no way he's going to be able to hold this. He needs to run.
So purple team gained a pretty big advantage here, about 1 grand up. Up until now, this was a very even game, neck and neck. Now purple team has an advantage. The question is, will they be able to take that advantage and turn it towards continue to snowball? Every win we've seen so far today has been the result of small mistakes snowballing into something much greater. It'll be interesting to see whether this game follows the same pattern.
For sure. And I don't know. I'm just so shocked that they're not trying to shut down this Shaco at all. Like, as you said, yeah, they need to shut down Trindamere, but Trindamere can be difficult to kill. Whereas Shaco, you literally just show up and kill him.
We were skeptical about the Shaco pick, but that deceive out of the hook, I gotta say, very well played on JWF's part.
Yeah, oh, he's definitely playing it well. I'll give him that. Alright, so Bloodthirster finished up on Caitlyn, whereas if you look at Tristana, no lifesteal finished, so Vamp Scepter's not done, so that's going to be a huge discrepancy in terms of damage and just raw sustain in this lane. So this, at this point, should be Caitlyn just pounding away with auto attacks, not letting up, constantly making Tristana cry.
Caitlyn pounding on Tristana, making her cry. I've read that fanfiction.
Oh, we all have.
Actions speak louder than words. A love story between ADCs.
Oh, God.
Tristana does have pretty good last hitting, despite getting bullied out of lane by Caitlyn. So it's not as though she's out of this. She's not, like, getting wrecked. She is putting up a fight, but she is going to have to play safe and wait for that Tristana late game advantage before she's going to be able to really help her team out. And we are seeing the gold advantage evening back out. This is not a particularly swingy nor stompy game.
Yeah, they're still very even. There's literally 100 gold separation. Good pull. The polymorph does come through. That really does. Whew, very close. The polymorph delays the Blitzcrank knock-up, but in the long term, great advantage. Oh my goodness. Sorry, every time I'm about to say something, they keep trying to go aggressive again. And that's what we were saying earlier. Caitlyn needs to play aggressively now that she has that item advantage, and just try and push him out of lane, try and make a play for herself. And it was a great grab and great setup by Blitzcrank that really just pushed them out of lane yet again.
Just a couple of quick notes. Shout out to Lulu and Tristana. They both synergized quite well. One of them could have died, or both of them could have died, but they did play well where Lulu harassed a lot of damage. Lulu took a lot of that harass to the face to protect her carry, and then when Caitlyn ulted, Tristana took the bullet and they both retreated. That was a good example of taking a bad situation and reducing the harm that came from it.
Another gank coming in onto Tryndamere. Nothing really going to come from it, though.
I'd like to see Tryndamere putting some wards up. Whenever I play top, an aggressive top like, say, Quinn or Fiora, I ward the river and the tri-bush so that I can push as long and as confidently as I like.
That's going to be a very dead Caitlyn. Rengar did get caught in a Caitlyn trap well stealthed, so they had vision. They knew he was coming. But it really, in the long run, didn't matter because he was able to jump on. Lulu was able to follow up with a very nice slow. And that just, again, free kill. As soon as you get in range, as soon as you set that up.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sort of disappointed the lack of presence as Riven has had all game.
Yeah, she's done very poorly in terms of map pressure. She roamed a little bit. She actually invaded and set up a lot of damage onto the jungle Rengar. Wasn't able to get anything from it besides his flash, and then she just kind of went back mid lane and is farming, and she's not even picking up... her CS is good, but it's not what you would expect from a Riven being able to just completely free farm. She should be taking mid and then doing wraiths if that's the course she wants to take.
I mean, she does have a good CS advantage. She's not out of the game,
but
I do wish that she was roaming more and just applying more pressure.
Yeah, and Shaco just completely out-roamed her. Went up top lane and set up a free kill.
This is a super close game. Big props to both teams. No mistakes or sort of spinning out of control. We are seeing some small errors, of course, because this is a learning environment, but nothing particularly awful or terrible. The standard to play and the communication on both teams is very great, so good job everyone in this game. Tryndamere decides to take the tower, ignore Riven, take top tower instead. Smart call on his part, I think. Unfortunately, he does go down to Blade of the Exile.
Alright, so Dragon is up in 15 seconds. They already have a pink ward on it, and so they're going to clear out any wards and getting ready for the respawn. Hopefully this time they won't blitz grab him in for a free smite steal, but we'll see how this goes down. In the meantime, though, they do have Soraka applying a lot of pressure top lane, and so that's a teleport down from Tryndamere. If I were Tryndamere, I would have saved that teleport. Good escape of the blitz hook, although I'm not convinced that was going to hit.
Sometimes, sorry, my fiance just pressed a cold pop against the back of my neck like a jerk. Sometimes you should just let outer towers go down so that your sort of sphere of protection is sort of lower. You have less of the map you have to worry about. This isn't always, but when the tower is already incredibly low, Sometimes just let the tower go down and go help your team elsewhere.
And my concern, though, is that with teleport down, that's one less person who's able to influence the dragon fight. Good job getting the flash, but in the meantime... No, Rengar is still here, so they should be able to help with this. Okay, so Rengar is in stealth now. They do have a pink ward on it, though.
So they're about to contest. We have 2 purples top, so it looks like blue team is about to take this dragon, although it is possible for purple to pull something off here.
If I were Shaco, he should be using Jack-in-the-Boxes in that passageway to keep them from coming to the dragon. It's not going to be an issue, as they do have a numbers advantage, but they could have tried for a steal.
We're seeing a really great example of how kills does not translate to victory. The team with the less kills has more gold. And that's because of objectives, because of CS, all of those less flashy but more effective goals that players tend to neglect at lower elo.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see if they continue this trend of just securing every objective that they can. Yeah, keeping an eye on where people are on the map and manipulating numbers like they did, making 2 go top. Tryndamere completely set that up. He made Soraka have to retreat, and they made Riven have to go up and help her. And as soon as you see those 2 people occupied with no way to get back down to the dragon fight, well, you've just secured a free dragon.
Right. Tryndamere does have 10 CS. He's probably about even in gold with Soraka, and he should have late game influence on her. It's just deeply unfortunate that Soraka is such a brick wall in top lane.
Sorry, this Rammus just made me laugh. He just completely missed the Shaco. He's like, I'm gonna powerball and go gank, and Shaco's just standing in the bush watching him go by.
I'm sorry, the mental image. I'm not laughing at the Rammus. It's just that painted a mental image in my head.
So Tryndamere using the ult, Riven is going to bait it out with her mobility and should be able to just turn around and set up a kill. Oh, no, Shaco returns, and that's a kill over to Shaco. Good job. That was just really well played by them, just baiting it in with the Tryndamere ult, and then as soon as Riven has to run, Shaco just returns and sets up a nice little bit of damage to get that kill.
So we've had 2 players today who play kind of bizarre choices, Vel'Koz in the jungle and Shaco mid lane, and they're just proving, do what you want and play it well, and that's sort of the most important part. I mean, they're both playing kind of considered silly or trolly picks, and they're rocking it. So, you know, take that as a lesson for picking your champs. But don't play Shaco mid, please. I'm gonna have, like, if I see my clones exploding in my face, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna, like, have a breakdown. I'll be hospitalized. Please, for the love of God.
Great hook coming in, but Shaco is able to deceive just over that wall there, I believe. No, he didn't flash. Did he?
I think he flashed.
Okay,
I'm
so
not 100% sure.
Yeah, spectator mode is bugged where having the summoner cooldown reduction doesn't show on the tooltip. So it's like, well, it shows him having used it 40 seconds before, but that would make sense if he has the cooldown mastery on it. Did they ever add the new flash particle? I don't think they did.
I'm not sure. I believe it's on the PvE, but not added. Like, it's gonna go through probably next patch or something. I don't know.
Well, it was added to PvE a couple patches ago, so it's like, oh, it must be through now, but I haven't seen it, so it must not be. It looked really pretty.
Sometimes stuff just sits on the PvE and it seems to be fine, but there's like some weird edge case that stops them from adding it. So blue team does have 2 kills, but they do have advantage from just CS and towers, and they're going into a team fight now. Purple team has the advantage, and they start just mopping up. They have so much upfront damage, and they have a little bit of a wombo combo going on with Caitlyn's Q, Riven's R active, Blitzcrank R, Soraka spamming Q. They're just kind of really just doing a lot of damage and not really caring about the enemy team, just mowing through them.
Yeah, and honestly, that was a beautiful teleport coming in from Soraka. It kept the Riven alive while she was able to get into the middle of the team and just absolutely shred them with damage.
Soraka tanking towers, I'm not a super huge fan of that choice. Whenever people tank towers, that usually just ends with like the other team walking up and mopping them up.
There was enough people dead.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. I just personally would rather wait for minions. But
counter teleport coming out from Tryndamere. I don't like this idea though.
And Tryndamere doesn't like this idea ever. He
No.
decides to skedaddle, therefore wasting the teleport. It was a decent idea. I see where the idea came from, but ultimately it was a 1v5, and unless you are like Faker Senpai, do not 1v5. If you are Faker Senpai, please call me.
Much moist.
Moist, like dripping, like fucking rip Niagara Falls over here.
Okay, more information than we ever needed to
Oh,
know.
excuse you. You started it, young man. Don't even. So
I
again,
miscalculated.
We are seeing, the gold being very close on both sides, 36.3 compared to 35.7. Small advantage to blue team. This is a very fascinating game to watch. You're watching a lot of back and forth. A lot of both teams are just communicating and cooperating and going for objectives, and it's really great to see.
Tryndamere going in onto the Soraka. But Ribbon is here to fight if they really need it. They should be able to clear out the pink ward, though. Shaco has shown up.
Shaco's dropping massive damage on Soraka. Soraka heals and just walks off. You can't kill Soraka. She's like the Terminator. She just doesn't stop.
Can they make a Terminator Soraka skin? I would buy it.
I would pay like legendary. I would weigh like ultimate prizes for that. Like Spirit Guard Udyr, Terminator Soraka, Death Bananas. Are you kidding me?
Could they be like robotic bananas?
Oh my god. Somebody call Riot right now.
Rito, please.
Dragon up in 5 seconds. Neither team is really going for it, which makes me suspect they either don't have timers or they aren't.
They should be keeping timers, yeah. They're sending 3 people top lane. The correct choice for purple, I think... No, the correct choice for them would be to counter it, because they have the Riven.
Rengar's just going to solo Dragon by himself. I approve of that choice. There's really no one who can stop him. Like, I don't really trust Blitzcrank to stop a Dragon Rengar. And, Rengar just is clawing through it.
Is that another skin we can get? A Dragon Rengar?
Dude, can you just put me in charge of skin department? I would
Yes,
make so many
please.
awesome skins. Like,
I want all the skins.
Every
Wait,
skin would
did
be
you see
beautiful.
the Frozen Syndra?
yes, I did see that. I think it's a little... Disney is really litigation happy. They will sue you in like a second.
But the amount of work someone put into that skin is amazing. They even did an animated login screen.
Well, like they made Girls' Generation Ari that got turned into a skin.
Yep.
So I can see them putting the effort in because like it's not. They know that they have Riot's attention to some degree. Since
There's no way it could be
worked
made,
once.
though.
No, it's Disney would sue them into the
Yeah.
ground. Back to the game. Gold is still very close, about a grand apart. We have blue team just sort of moving up around their jungle, around their blue. Soraka's moving around warding. I do appreciate Soraka's putting wards up in the jungle before
Well, she's
moving
a
back with their
support.
team. Oh, of course. Support needs a ward. Soraka's playing a little crazy. If she was anyone out, I would say she was out of position. But what are you going to do to Soraka? Kill her?
It's true. It just doesn't happen.
She just walks away.
Except for the
Goes
other
up.
2 times this game.
Shh, we don't talk about this.
So, I did not take a look at her runes. She has 40% CDR just from items. And, well, yes, you want massive CDR on her, and I like her choices. It seems it could be overkill if she has any from runes and masteries.
CDR, it's really difficult not to go CDR overdrive on Soraka because she loves so many items that happen to have a CDR on them. She loves Ancient Coin. She loves Iceborne Gauntlet. She loves Spirit Visage. I feel like going a little over on CDR is kind of inevitable.
Yep.
Rengar just jumping on Caitlyn, wrecking her face, turning around on Blitzcrank, putting down lots of damage. Blitzcrank waddling away, Mana Shield and Flash, and Rengar decides not to chase it.
Well, he's
and
very
now
caught
here
out.
comes Rammus and Soraka. Banana Fear!
So Tryndamere actually got caught out by Riven at the red. She's still chasing him. Like, this is such a long chase. She should have just joined the team fight. I don't even think she's going to be able to catch this.
I am Basically, right now, both teams are being a little bit silly. They're running into the meat grinder. They're not fighting over an objective. Uh,
Oh.
there's not really anything. Oh no, Riven! Oh,
Oh.
the double kill! Oh, the
Uh,
shutdown! This is the meat grinder. Like, what are they fighting over? Nothing. But they're fighting for the hell of it. Just everyone dies forever. Running
as
into the meat
entertaining
grinder.
as that combo was, yeah, they need to be fighting for a reason. They're not getting a tower for it. They're not getting a dragon for it. They're not really doing anything with it besides just trying to fight.
And getting kills is fine. It gets you items, but you should probably turn the kill into something.
Like blue buff is up right now. That could be something to look at. Getting vision, like even using that opportunity from the kills to get wards down. That would be totally viable. That's a great objective.
Nope, gotta kill mans.
Yeah, kills are pretty.
Shaco is just really proving that AP Shaco is a thing that apparently works. I'm as amazed as any of you. He's 5-1.
He's doing the Cassidon thing.
His farm does kind of suck, and I'm not convinced that he's going to be that relevant in the late game, but he's pulling off some amazing deceives, some great assassinations, and just generally making it work.
Yeah, I would argue he's essentially playing like he's a Cassidon, except worse. Because Cassidon just shows up and kills targets that have like 200 health left. And that's pretty much what Shaco's doing here. He shows up to a fight, throws a Q and picks up a kill. Or it's not a Q, it's E, I want to say.
Ooh, I'm not a huge fan of Tryndamere here. Tryndamere runs into a Caitlyn trap. He sees it. It's not like it was in a bush. He runs into it regardless. He has vision on him from the Caitlyn trap. You really have to be aware of how long the vision lasts. You're still running around and you think you're free, but nope, you have the eyes above you. And he runs into a nest of purple team. So he gets caught out. Blue team decides to follow him into a bad situation, and they are just getting mowed down over it. So
Okay.
Tryndamere made a mistake, and blue team is just throwing themselves onto the pyre.
Yoshi made the exact same mistake not 20 seconds ago. He's trying to use his jump offensively on a Riven. You're an AD carry, please stay at max
his,
range.
triple jump?
Yeah, he used his jump onto Riven's face and then dies.
Sorry, I thought you meant Riven for a second, not
No.
Tristana. Derp. Yeah, Tristana, getting her jump. You have super long range. Why would you want to be in their face? It's like watching Caitlyn's who are all point blank, just like hitting someone in melee range, and it's like, you're Caitlyn, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. That fight made me very, very sad. She could have just kited around and auto-attacked. I don't know if he lagged or... I don't know what he was thinking.
Soraka just farming mid lane, pushing forward. Soraka, I wish you would be with our team. I really want to see Soraka being less of a solo lane, brick wall, who split pushes. I would like to see her with her team, just like dropping heals, silencing key targets, star falling. Blue team seem to be doing fine without her, or purple team seems to be doing fine without her, but Soraka is the biggest force multiplier in the game. Granted,
Yeah.
she is getting an inhib turret, but...
She did a really nice ult there to try and save Caitlyn, but then Caitlyn ended up getting just caught out a little bit still and went down regardless. But the heal was definitely influential in that. It just wasn't enough.
Right. I would love to see her with her team because Soraka's team fight is one of the most annoying things in the game to play against because it's so effective. She erases full combos. She silences you. I'd like to see her really busting out that Soraka utility in a fight as opposed to a solo lane.
Agreed. Yeah, she's just turning into... She's playing like she's singed.
Oh my god, can we get like a Soraka wearing a singed costume skin? Riot, please.
No.
Okay, was that too
That
far?
was too much.
Yeah, okay. Look, there are some weird ass skin ideas out there. I'm gonna warn you not to ever search Catgirl Ezreal on Tumblr.
That sounds amazing.
It kind of is and it kind of isn't.
I'm still waiting for Battle Bunny Tarek.
Oh my god, Bunny Tarek and Talon, please, Riot. Debonair Jace was a good start, but we need more man candy in this game.
Well, there was like... I don't even know what they called it. It was like... NBA Darius. I don't even know what they called it, though. Is it
Dunkmaster Darius.
Dunkmaster, right.
Yeah, Darius doesn't do it for me. I don't think he'd be much of a cuddler. I think he'd, like, yell at you to get out of his bed the second he came, and then, like,
Yeah.
you'd have to, like, take the night bus home.
Pretty much. So
Yeah.
they send 3 top to deal with Soraka, and in the meantime, the rest of the purple team is barreling down mid. I'm hoping that was communicated and that they're going to be able to get something with it. Nope, they're just retreating.
See, Soraka is just being total man mode, and I appreciate a man mode Soraka deep in my heart, but is it helping her team win the game? I don't think it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not really doing much at this point.
It'd be one thing if she's like, I'm a distraction, and, you know, did a Scooby-Doo style chase through the jungle. But that doesn't seem to be the case, and her team isn't taking advantage of 3 people having to kill her.
Okay, so we see Rengar coming in. Rengar ulted onto Rammus, which is very odd. He does get out though. Lulu ends up dropping.
Poor Lulu.
Great combo from Riven, but she is going to blow her Guardian Angel, so totally not worth it. Guardian Angel is an amazingly important cooldown.
Caitlyn tanking the tower, trying to hit it. Now Blitzcrank is tanking the tower. Rammus is tanking the tower.
And then Trinimir's
coming
here.
up from the north. Has a Caitlyn trap on him. Just dies to Riven and Blitzcrank. Oh no, wait, a 9 raise. It's enough to survive, but he did not get any kills. Now Purple Lane are all at low health.
This would be a good opportunity for Baron.
Again, I would love to see Soraka with them to get Caitlyn up in mana and health. Caitlyn is a siege machine. Imagine if she had a battery with her. I think Purple Team could have taken a inhib turret from that if they had Soraka with them.
Yep. So that's going to be a double kill for Rengar. There's almost no way he's getting out. This would be an opportunity for Blue Team to get a Baron. Please.
Instead, you have Lulu farming bot, Tristana heading to farm bot, Tryndamere farming mid lane. Yeah, not super impressed with
Okay, so here's the
just
deal.
the mechanics of team fighting in a mid to late game right now.
So basically, Tryndamere baited out the fight bot lane. In doing so, he blew a lot of summoner cooldowns from the other side, had them relatively low. I'm not saying it was a good fight, but it was making their bulk of their team have to return to base. Lulu was up in a few seconds. Rengar was then able to get a kill on both the AD carry and support from the enemy team. If they had rushed to Baron, Tristana Tryndamere, boom, your Baron is done.
We have Soraka pushing the tower, recalling. Shaco goes in on her, goes behind her for the passive damage, throws a shiv. Soraka starts dishing damage back, takes half of Shaco's health, but here comes Rengar. Rengar is hungry for that goat meat, drops a bola, and Soraka goes down again. I believe earlier in the game she was, like 2 deaths? And now that is much higher. She's died 2 more times. And she has farm, she's pushing towers, but she's not actually achieving very many goals. And her team is suffering without her.
Someone is asking if Guardian Angel is really worth it, because usually you're just going to die after it goes off anyways. It's worth it on champions who can put out a large amount of burst in a very short period of time, such as Riven, because literally she can survive at 100 health for ages if she's in range of someone to duel them. And it's worth it on AD carries because the point is your team's going to peel for you.
Think of it as a Zhonya's active, as opposed to a second life. You have a little bit of time to calm down, have your cooldowns reset, and get back into the fight, not a magic bullet to survive an otherwise impossible situation.
Exactly. Caitlyn positions rather well in that team fight and puts out a lot of damage, but her team's just so split. Soraka was dead at that point. Just not going to go in their favor. If Soraka was alive there, she could have just ulted. Even just her ult would have been enough to survive that fight and allow Caitlyn to continue to pump out this great damage. Okay, so blue team is recalling now. Similar idea as before, you have numbers coming up, you want to get vision down and see if you can take away an objective. I'm not convinced that purple team could take a Baron right now, but they'd want to at least get some vision in that area, clear out some wards, try and set up some fights for the future.
Yep, sorry about not the dead air. I am writing down my dinner plans.
Please tell me he's just like taking your order like a good little waiter.
Oh my god, I wish. Do you know that this boy doesn't even like make me breakfast every morning and like rub my feet? It's terrible.
Why do you put up with him?
Eh,
Wait, I don't want the answer to that.
okay, because like I had diagrams and charts and like
Okay, so blue team taking away another dragon for themselves. I am so surprised there's not been any barons. Wait a second. Lulu has a death cap on her Morellonomicon. Good for her. You go,
you know
girl.
what? I'm fine with that. You know what? Maybe Lulu deserves a little crazy time to be a little bit silly. Blitzcrank pulling out the grab a little too early. Both teams dancing around the Baron pit.
I don't agree with
Tristana
Lulu.
and Shaco, not with their team especially, so Purple could really initiate and get some stuff done here. Although it looks like all 5 are here now, and Rengar is cleaning up Caitlyn.
Yeah, that fight went definitely in their favor. They're going to get a lot from it. Caitlyn went back in to die. Oh my lord. Okay, so Caitlyn walked back into the enemy team and died for no reason. But the original fight, Lulu used Polymorph on Riven. Riven was not in range, no one fought during that Polymorph. That's a huge amount of CC that's blown and nothing really comes from it. And then we're still seeing this Tristana use his jump offensively. Sorry, her jump offensively.
Right, both teams had a really tight early game, and now they're both being a little bit silly.
Yeah, Tryndamere split pushing top. I would want to see them try and interrupt any recall attempts from Purple. Oh, not quick enough. Oh, I think I missed the dagger. I was trying to follow the Shiv into base.
Raptor attacks in all chat. Well, my team is slowly falling apart. I'd like to address that. Not to pick on Raptor attacks. He's a really cool member of the stream. I like him, but that's not super great on any level. On one hand, I get that you're frustrated, but what are you achieving? Like, do you think your team will go, "Oh, you got us. Yeah, we're totally falling apart. Thanks, bud," and like get together, or are they going to quietly resent you and be like, "Whatever, dickhole"? Secondly, do you really want the other team to know that your team is falling apart? Do you, like, that gives them an advantage? Now they know they can press objectives. Amazing Caitlyn ult, but not enough to stop Baron.
Yep, they finally have taken the Baron, which is what I said needed to happen. But yeah, I would add on to that saying that, okay, your team is falling apart. What are you doing about it? Are you encouraging them? Are you telling them what good plays you should be setting up? Are you saying, hey, I know it's frustrating, but like if we just do X, we might have a chance? Like, what are you doing about it in a constructive way?
Right, I am going to take this moment to pimp out my anxiety guide. It's what? Exclamation mark guide?
Yes.
I can't type in chat right now. For some reason Twitch is
I
being
did.
super buggy. Okay, great. So the anxiety guide, when you're frustrated, when you're upset, I get that. You're really tempting. It's tempting to like lash out or give up, but it's not great. It's not healthy for you either to be mad at this game. So, you know, working on that is a good call.
Yep. Oh, it's just an attitude adjustment. It's not saying that you're going to win the game because of it. It's just
No.
making sure it doesn't get to you, because that can then influence your future games. If this was solo queue, okay, well, what happens next game when your team is able to work together? Are you still bitter about how the last game went?
And again, I like Raptor. I really don't mean to pick on him. He's a cool guy. He's not being especially toxic. I just saw an opportunity to like really address that. So again, not picking on Raptor. Just he gave us an excellent opportunity to discuss this.
Okay, so now that blue team has Baron, it's really on them to end the game. And we've said this every single workshop today, and it's always been important. You need to be able to abuse how the enemy is positioning their numbers and manipulate that using your own team members, using the strongest split pushers, the strongest duelers, the strongest baiters you have on your team, and position them in a way that you're going to be able to use those numbers to end the game. Personally, I feel Tryndamere should be top lane right now, and the rest of them should be mid lane. I would also suggest Shaco setting up some boxes all through the jungle. And that way, if the enemy team tries to go fight Tryndamere, who's pushing up top lane, you can either push mid lane or you can pick off anyone who goes into the jungle very easily because you have that vision, you have that CC, you have that extra damage.
I do want to take a moment just to compliment the last hitting skills of people. Even if the game necessarily shouldn't have gone on this way, I believe this is the first game we've had more than 2 people with 300 CS. So that's a little milestone for people in workshops. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, they're definitely doing really, really well in terms of CS this game. The only one that's a little lacking would be the Shaco, which it's to be expected. It's Shaco. It's not like he has great wave clear.
Do you know who has the best wave clear?
Not me. Oh, puns.
Do you know who has the second best wave clear?
No, who?
Coral Reef Malphite.
Oh, God.
You love me.
To an extent.
An extent, okay. Fair enough, I can accept that.
So they're doing the inverse of what I suggested, and I'm fine with that. They do need to be careful, though, because Blitzcrank does have a ward over the wall. If he is to grab someone, like the Lulu would be a good opportunity because her damage isn't that great, and she doesn't have easy escapes. They could try and make a pick for themselves. In the meantime, they are sending 3 bot. I love that suggestion because the minion wave happens to be pushing up there. Just take another free tower, and then they can cycle, again, using numbers, keep Tryndamere bot lane to fight anyone who comes, and send back 3 or 4 mid lane. Just constantly cycle between lanes, make them react to where you're going, and catch them out as they try and reposition themselves.
Rengar throwing his bola, and Tryndamere goes in to clean up, but Riven has the stun. And it looks like it's not going to be as easy gank as I thought.
In the meantime, Tristana taking away the top inhib.
Hey, Pro, do you know who has the third best wave clear?
Who?
Probably a Shyvana with Hydra. I think she probably would have the best.
I'm not going to respond to that.
No!
Okay, so they are able to make a pick for themselves. They may even be able to get the Tryndamere here, but they do have to be careful of the... There we go, perfect. They just needed to swap aggro a little bit, and they did that beautifully. In the meantime, though, they are going to hopefully take away this. Nope. Beautiful taunt, plus Caitlyn ult comes in. Hook misses, but it caused them to have to go back, and another kill for themselves. That's 4 members down. That's 40-50 seconds they have to use. They need to try and push something. I would honestly suggest go do mid lane and tank the tower, because the only people alive right now are Tristana, Lulu.
I'm wondering what Tristana is doing. She does have GA, but she's alone. Is she trying to, like, clean up against them? Or is she trying to ward? I'm not sure, but I wish she would just sit in base. It's not safe beyond the towers right now.
It's a dangerous position for her to be in. If I were them, though, they're running a little low on time. They were a little slow to react. I would have suggested just dive this tower, tank the hell out of it. It's 45 minutes into the game, and oh, beautiful hook that time.
Beautiful grab from Blitzcrank, but Lulu does the wild growth, giving Tristana enough time to jump out. That's not enough, though, because Caitlyn just cleans up. Now we have Lulu and Shaco coming. Shaco's an assassin against a full team of 5. Will he be able to stop them from taking the inhib? And the answer is no.
I would suggest, yeah, they need to defend. Send 1 or 2 to Dragon, because it's very, very easy to take at this stage of the game. Send 1 or 2 back, and then maybe someone else ward up. Like Blitzcrank might want to drop a couple more wards on his way back, get some vision so that they don't get caught out as they're trying to push out again.
I gotta say, a lot of the time when we talk about Blitzcrank's strengths, we go, well, he's good at feeding his ADC in lane. Blitzcrank is our Blitzcrank Paragon Fear.
Your VoIP cut out, Requeen.
Oh, I was saying a late game grab is enough to put a team in ruins if it's on the right target.
Yes, now that being said, though, grabbing a Tryndamere at this stage of the game is difficult, and unless they're able to instantly follow up with a lot of burst onto the Shaco, that's also dangerous. They do get Shaco completely zoned out of this fight. Riven is here. Ult does not connect, but they are going to get onto this Tryndamere here. He has his ult, but this is 4 people on him. They should easily be able to pick up that Tryndamere, and at this point they need to return, I would say probably send 1 person bot lane, probably Riven, so she can push out, and the rest can go top lane. Oh no, wait, Baron's up. Baron, right. Just take a Baron immediately. I don't know why they're doing anything but Baron.
And you have Soraka going bottom. Yes, farm is great. Pushing lanes is great.
I'm fine with them sending 1 bot lane, and Soraka's the right person to do because she has a global heal. But they need to immediately be doing that Baron before the enemy team has a chance to respond.
And right now, it looks like blue team is aware. You have Lulu coming up. You have Tristana and Rengar pushing the lane back. I think they suspect it's going on and don't have 100% knowledge.
They should be able to take this away before they do get there, though.
Yes, purple does get Baron uncontested.
Great grab onto the Lulu. These hooks are really getting them back into the game at this point. They need to stand on this pink ward. He has used his ult, but as long as... okay, it's not going to be an issue because they're just going to collapse in. But yeah, having that pink ward down there is critical. That makes sure that Rengar can't get in there for a steal, and he can't just pick off your AD carry. Soraka, though, probably going to die. Unless Blitz gets here quick enough.
You know, this is one of those games where I can't call an MVP. Say what you will, but this has been a team effort on both sides.
Another good hook coming out. Blitzcrank missed a lot of his early hooks, but they are making all the difference right now. They've been going incredibly well.
Right, Blitzcrank is playing the most dangerous game. Like, what happens if you grab an Amumu into your team late game, like GG? But this Blitz is showing excellent precision on targets and pulling in the right people at the right times.
Okay, so Tristana is trying to base race. They need to just end the game right now. Don't send someone back. You can end faster. You have a Soraka to heal you if you tank the towers.
Trist should go top, I think, if she wants to do this and get that inhib and then win it. Trending.
So that was a really good game. It was very close. I understand people were getting frustrated, but that's part of life. Unfortunately, it's just something you have to deal with. You're not always going to see eye to eye on things with people. But it was just a really good job of getting back into that game, crawling their way back from not a huge deficit, but from a lot of team communication issues. And so, awesome job there. I'll have you go over actual builds and everything, and then we are going to be starting a viewer game. If anyone wants to play in the viewer game, just hit me up in the Pro for Never chat room. If you have not played today, please say so in the chat room so I can give you priority to get into the match.
I just want to take a second to say we often discuss MVPs in these games. I don't think we can do that in this game. Everyone played their role. Everyone played as a really good gameplay, really good communication. I understand people were frustrated and things fell apart at certain times, but at the same time, I think a lot really came together in a way we don't often see in workshop games.
Yeah, that was a pleasure to watch come late game. They made some mistakes, obviously, everyone does, but they had some really good plays.
Build order, we have Tristana. Tristana has GA, Bloodthirster, IE, Last Whisper. All seems good. I don't have any problems with that. Shaco has AP Assassin stuff. Sure. I mean, I don't know the standard build for AP Shaco, but looks good. Tryndamere has split pushing stuff. Not a lot of AD, like he has no BS sword items, and a lot of attack speed items. I'm not a Tryndamere expert. He might have wanted to consider getting a Bloodthirster. That's just a suggestion. I'm not 100% sure. I trust that you know your champion better than I do. Lulu has Sheen, Deathcap. Lulu just went AP. She had fun with her build. She might have wanted to go for like a final gold item. Ancient Coin is amazing on Lulu since she has a little low base speed and such. So she might want to consider that. And Rengar. Rengar has tanky, split pushy items. They seem fine. I have no complaints with Rengar's build. Riven has Hydra, Last Whisper, Bloodthirster, Black Cleaver, GA. Good, I love the Black Cleaver. A lot of people underestimate a CDR on Riven, so the CDR boots and Cleaver, great idea, big fan. Soraka has Chalice, Frozen Heart, Boots of Swiftness with Distortion, Rylai's. I'm gonna say that I'm a big fan of getting an Iceborne Gauntlet on Soraka. The slow field is super effective. The CDR is great. The armor is great. I seriously want to just suggest that instead of Rylai's, since Rylai's has the AoE on Star Call, the AoE cut down on Star Call. So you might want to consider that. Caitlyn's build, very standard. Bloodthirster, IE, almost the same as Tristana's, actually. Very standard, very fine. Blitzcrank has the Iceborne Gauntlet, the Mobo Boots. Mobo Boots got gutted this patch. I would consider not getting them, especially on a jungle. And Ramus has Randuin's, Sunfire, all very standard, and no complaints with any of the builds here.